Hello everyone, it is I, your man Nipun Sharma, and welcome back to another video. Now these are the player ratings of Saturday afternoon's absolute bullshit performance against West Bromwich Albion. Thomas Tuchel's first defeat as Chelsea manager. 5-2. You've heard it right, Chelsea 2. West Bromwich Albion 5. And that was probably the worst, one of the worst performances I have ever seen from a Chelsea team. I'm not even kidding. It's probably up there with that performance 6-0 against Man City. Everything was wrong today. Tactics, decision making. Oh my god, I am actually fuming. We were shit. I don't want to hear any comments or any excuses about the referee. We were shit. We were the masters of our own downfall. So don't blame the referee. Okay, maybe he did unfairly send off Thiago Silva, and granted that did change the game, but to lose in that manner, no, not having it. Now let's just move on to the player ratings. This is probably going to be the easiest player ratings video. Not a single person is getting very few players are going to get high marks today. So we start off as we always do, in goal, Edouard Mendy. He was probably caught out positionally for West Brom's first goal. But there's little he could have done about their second. He did really well to stop a hat-trick from one of their players. I can't remember who it was. And he gets a 5. And probably the man of the match. Because let's be real, it would have been more. Could have been more. Against West Brom. 19th place. Now, we move on to Cesar Azpilicueta. The Blues skipper. There's little he could do about any of the goals. And he was part of a defence that conceded 5. A horrible afternoon for the Spaniard. He gets a 2 out of 10. Now here comes the Brazilian in our team, Thiago Silva. After a 2-month injury, he came back and was sent off in 30 minutes. Which was not a second yellow, a bit harsh. But no, we can't blame the referees. We were shit. Just put it that way. We were dog shit. And so was Thiago Silva for those games. He gets a 2 out of 10. Now we move on to Kurt Zouma. I've already said it in so many call-ins on Blues Fans TV and on my own channel. He can't play in a back 3. And that just showed by his performance on Saturday. Yeah. And that just showed in his performance yesterday. He was very, very poor. like a lot of our defenders were. He gets a 3 out of 10. Now we move on to Reece James. Like the rest of our side, James struggled, started sluggishly, but his performance improved after Chelsea went down to 10 men. He forced 2 saves and produced a few crosses from the right flank, but he wasn't at fault for any of the goals. He gets a 6 out of 10. Now we move on to Jorginho. The Italian midfielder the Italian-Brazilian has produced one of the best moments of play in a Chelsea shirt since the appointment of Thomas Tuchel. But his display against West Bromwich Albion was horrible. Horrible. In my opinion, one of the worst players on the pitch. Guilty of giving the ball away way too many times, and was involved in the build-up to both of Thiago Silva's yellow cards. And his passing was well off the radar. He didn't even track the midfield runners, which left our defence completely exposed, and was brought off in the 72nd minute. A horrible performance from the Brazilian Italian. 0. 0. 0 out of 10. Now we move on to his midfield partner, Mateo Kovacic. He's been one of our reliable performers under Thomas Tuchel, but also today he struggled against the Baggies. He was poor in possession, much like his midfield partner Jorginho. He didn't track back enough, and he was caught up field way too many times. His performance alongside Jorginho will be concerning, with N'Golo Kante set to miss the midweek Champions League clash against Porto. He gets a 3 out of 10. Now we move on to Marcos Alonso. He came close to breaking the deadlock early on in the game with a low shot across goal, and it was his free kick that enabled us to open the scoring through Christian Pulisic. But he is still horrible defensively, which was showed in the second half. He gets a decent 5 out of 10. One of our better players. Hakim Ziyech. The Dutch-Moroccan only lasted 33 minutes and he was brought off in the first half itself. He was okay, but not that great. He gets a 5 out of 10. We move on to Timo Werner. Plenty of endeavour from the German. And he was unselfish to assist Mount for our second, which didn't really mean much because they scored 5. as Chelsea attempted to get back into the game. Not enough chances for Werner, though, to score. He gets a 5 out of 10. Now we move on to Christian Pulisic. It was no surprise to see the Croatian-American start, given the fact that he almost had a week to prepare for the game. And he also got on the score sheet on the half-hour mark, reacting quickest to convert after Marcos Alonso's free kick. That struck the post, but brought off at half-time with the Blues trailing. He gets a 6 out of 10. Now we move on to the substitutes. Substitutes. Andreas Christensen. Probably his worst performance under Thomas Tuchel. He wasn't directly at fault for any of West Brom's goals, but the composure he showed has just disappeared. Let's just hope we don't play the same against Porto. Because my God, if we play against Porto like we did against West Brom, we are getting knocked out of the Champions League. We are getting knocked out if we play like that against Porto. So Christensen, he gets a 4 out of 10. Now we move on to Mason Mount. Brought on to help us come back into the game. He was brought on for energy that we lacked in the first half. He did get onto the score sheet, but it was too little too late. He gets a 6 out of 10. Now Kai Havertz, he was brought on to try and influence the game. He didn't have much of an influence at all. 4 out of 10 for the German. Now, manager's rating, Thomas Tuchel. 1 out of 10. He got the tactics completely wrong. And thus West Brom becomes the first team to hand Thomas Tuchel his first defeat as Chelsea manager. Now, with that being said, I am not going to let this defeat affect the rest of my week. But with that being said, social media is in the description below. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications if you haven't already. The like target for this video is 5 likes, so that would be great. I'm also on the road to 300 subscribers, so please remember to, subscribe. Road to 300 is on. And my next video will be a preview to the Champions League quarterfinals first legs, followed by 2 watch-alongs, where I will be covering all 4 games, happening in the Champions League, and then a player ratings video after the second watch-along. So stay tuned for that. So with that being said, you have been a wonderful audience, and this is Nippon Sharma signing off. Take care of yourselves. Peace. Up the Chelsea and London is blue. And I'm out of here, and I shall see you in the next video.